Did you ever know that you're my hero?
All right, well, that's staying in as well.
Ricken Financial presents Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you reach the retirement you deserve. Let's build a strategy that gives you the confidence while meeting your financial wants and needs. Meet the team at rickenfinancial.com. Now, Kickin' with the Rickens.
Thanks so much for subscribing, liking, and downloading Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. RickenFinancial.com to get more information. You can find that link in the show notes as well. My name is Mark Owens, Gerry Ricken, Heidi Ricken Provost. How y'all doing this week?
Great, Mark. How you doing, bud?
It's a beautiful day to be alive. How are you?
I need your help. This is
what's going on?
We're always here to help.
a friend.
Is it about buying shoes?
It is not about buying shoes. It is not. It is a Gerry Ricken as the father of a daughter and
Yes.
Heidi Ricken as an adult. There is a battle going on in the Owens household right now that I need some advice on because I'm not real sure how to handle this. And that battle is my 11-year-old daughter,
Yes.
Caroline, just started sixth grade. And we've been holding out, but it won't stop the conversation.
Buy it.
You know where I'm going with this.
What's up?
The phone. She wants a phone.
Oh, yeah. She needs a phone.
She's 11.
Okay, I actually have a question. Does she take the bus?
She does.
Is she ever walking by herself anywhere?
Not by herself. She meets her little friends every morning at the end of our driveway, and they walk to the bus together. Now, look, yes, I understand the aspect of she's involved in cheerleading. She does dance. There are times and moments where they get done early, or maybe the last second class gets canceled or something like that. I understand that. But my theory is there's enough adults around to help her out with the conversation, the communication.
And if you ever need to track her or whatever, you can stick like a little air tag or whatever.
We've got those. Yeah, anytime we go our little downtown has a concert or whatnot.
Here's why I asked that question. This was a heated debate in the Ricken household.
Okay.
So we all got our phones at the age of 13, primarily because that was young.
It was a rite of passage.
I'm 35 years old. That was young.
Yeah.
13 was like, oh my God, the Ricken kids get a phone.
Yeah.
Primarily because my sister Marybeth was in the hospital when she turned 13, and my parents were like, all right, we got to get her a phone. And then it became, well, if Marybeth got a phone at 13, do I get a phone at 13? And then it was like, okay, so we all, so fast forward to Will, the baby. He wants one for years, and you guys were kind of like, you don't need a phone.
Right.
Like, go out and play in the street. You know, you're fine.
He walked with his buddies to our school, little parish school.
Oh, yeah.
You know, through the back of our neighborhood.
So he was probably 10 or 11, somewhere around Caroline's age, when I went to surprise him. I don't know why I was home from school early or whatever. I went to go surprise him when he was walking home by himself one day. And I was like hiding in the bushes, literally, because I was going to scare him. Because if you know my brother at all, you say, whoa, and he will jump out of his skin. So I was hiding to scare him. And I noticed an unmarked white van following him.
No way.
So I popped out of the bushes a little earlier than I would have wanted to, because I was like, what on earth is happening? And as soon as the car saw me, they slammed on the brakes and reversed and got out of there.
No way.
So that was the day we got him a phone.
Yes, absolutely.
If Caroline's ever going to be by herself, you obviously want to make sure she's protected. But also, step one, you want to make sure she's not by herself, like ever.
True.
But step two, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. If she's going to be on like Snapchat and all that stuff, forget that.
No.
Okay? You have so much time in your life, kid. I'll talk to her about this, because if I could go back in time, I wish I would have had less social media and all that stuff, you know, for forever. To this day, I'm like, the only Snapchats I get are my friends' kids, and I don't care about, like, I love their kids. I don't care about using it for that kind of stuff, you know? But like, there's too many methods of communication that don't involve face-to-face interaction. So
the safety part of it, I get. But I also know from talking to other parents, and, you know, Caroline had 4th and 5th graders who had phones. And we're not talking like their parents' original iPhone 6. They had iPhone 14 and 15. As soon as they get that phone, everything changes. Because they're going to say, oh, I won't look at TikTok the whole time. Oh, I won't be on it a lot. Yes, they will. Yeah, they will. We all know that they will. So it's almost like there's part of me that's still trying to hold on to the innocence to my daughter who gives us all of her attention and not a phone all of her attention.
Right. But you
That's
can
fair.
also set those guidelines at home that when she is at home, her phone gets put away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those
Well,
things
I mean,
can
even
happen.
when we got them, we ate dinner as a family every single night. It didn't matter what was happening. There are all those moments, but I don't know. From a safety perspective, I honestly don't know nowadays, Mark, if it keeps your kids safer or less safe to have a phone
that's true.
because they're exposed to too many other things with social media and everything else out there.
Exactly. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back and get her like one of those Motorola flip phones that doesn't
burner
have
phone.
the internet, a burner phone, doesn't have the internet. You can't play any games. There's no apps. It's literally you can basically the same phone I'm going to give my mom. Because when they're 13 or 75, okay, you just need to be able to text and make a phone call, and that's it.
Right.
Hey,
right.
we should get her. I think I still have one of my old Nokias. It might be able to work. She can play Snake on it.
T9?
The T9.
But she'll have to learn how to T9. I'll send that to you.
The one game is Snake. That's the only one that's
Yes.
still on there.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, we'll get there. I'm scared we're going to give in sooner than later, but it is a topic of discussion. Just it's what happens when your 11-year-old just owns you. If she said she wanted a pony, I'd get her a pony right now if she wanted one. Hey, Ricken
Well,
Financial.
I will tell you, pony's a lot more expensive than a phone.
Okay, thanks. Wait,
Take it from my brother Ken.
But I say, of course, I make a joke, and Gerry Ricken's like, well, hold on, let me tell you about having a pony, okay?
That's right, having horses. My sister-in-law, Linda, God bless her. She loves her horses.
It's RickenFinancial.com to meet the team and see all the services they offer at Ricken Financial. All right, let's get back into a great conversation last week about the importance of life insurance, and we kind of covered the death benefit. So this week, let's talk about life insurance and the living benefits. Where do we start?
Well, living benefits, when you think about life insurance, it's very contrary to for people to think that life insurance can have living benefits in it, because typically when you think about life insurance, you think of only the death benefit. And when you think about the death benefit, you want to purchase an amount of death benefit for the cheapest amount of premium. So that's typically the way we all buy, life insurance. And we talked about that in last week's episode. So this is completely different, because life insurance has changed over the years. It is no longer just for the death benefit. There are actually living benefits that these life insurance companies have cleverly put into place, because life insurance is treated differently in the Internal Revenue Code than anything else.
And last week, we spent a lot of time talking about term insurance, where you pay those premiums for a term of your life. This time, we're not talking about term, because there aren't really any living benefits in term other than making sure that your debt's covered for the people that you're in your family and that you love and are your beneficiaries. So it gives you peace of mind. But we're talking the other forms of life insurance this week, because that's where those living benefits come into play.
And that's permanent life insurance, Mark, so that it is an asset. There is no term. There's no term limitation on it, but it's permanent life insurance, and that can come in the form of different ways. It can be whole life. It can be universal life. It can be indexed universal life. There are various kinds of permanent insurance that you can purchase, and it all depends on what you want to do with it and what those living benefits you want as to what kind you purchase.
So, okay, to kick things off for what a living benefit could look like, we're going to talk taxes. We all know death and taxes, two things we can't avoid. But as Gerry mentioned, life insurance is treated differently in the Internal Revenue Code. So you asked this question last week, Mark. It was a great question. Is there tax associated with life insurance? Well, on the death benefit, no. But on the living benefits, there are also ways to access funds in life insurance policies without paying tax. So we've covered this topic before too. If you have debt out there, you can utilize living benefits of life insurance to help pay off that debt and continue to save funds without taxation. You might be paying some interest in your policy, but you can remove the taxation from the equation when you're utilizing the living benefits of a life policy.
So when you think about paying off your debts with life insurance, you actually become your own bank. And when you do that, not only pay off your debts a lot quicker, but you're also building assets that are going to be tax favored and tax free in the future, so that you can use that additional asset to purchase things in the future, or to even live off in the future tax free.
Yeah, so you might be able to utilize some living benefits of life insurance to pay off debt. Where living benefits of life insurance, the sweet spot really lives, is tax-free access to funds in your future. So say right now you're self-employed. If you're self-employed, you're not going to have a 401k or a match from your company or a retirement plan out there from your company to help you save for the future. Onus is on you to save for the future. So where do you even begin? Well, you can utilize life insurance as a form of tax-free income in your future that you can access at any point in time. You don't have to wait till age 59 and a half and have it open for 5 years like you would have to if you were saving into a Roth. You can access it whenever you need it, and it'll grow tax deferred, and you can pull the money out tax-free for your needs in the future. And it's a beautiful plan that you can actually, if you grow over time and you have at least 10 to 15 years to retirement, you can set yourself up for a retirement where you're not going to have to pay income taxes.
And when we think about living benefits, Mark, the thing that is a big cost in life insurance is the death benefit. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we structure these plans in such a way that we reduce the death benefit down to the minimum required by the IRS. The IRS has rules on this, so that it still qualifies as life insurance, but use the taxation benefits inside that policy. So we flip it upside down. We pay the most amount of cash for the least amount of death benefit. So we can build that cash up and utilize it for those living benefits going forward.
So typically, as we mentioned, when you think life insurance, you think least amount of premium, most amount of death benefit.
Right.
When you flip it on its head, most amount of premium, least amount of death benefit, that's where those living benefits really sing and dance for you. So it's not necessarily something you can do on your own right, but with the access of an insurance professional, you can look and make sure that you're setting yourself up for financial success in the future and be able to reduce the taxation and the burden of taxes on you while saving for the future. So, we mentioned self-employed. What if you are employed and you're maxing out your match right now in your retirement plan at work and you're saving beyond that? It might be another way to add an additional stream of an income source to your family in the future by accessing that life insurance. And you could probably kill two birds with one stone, because it'll give you additional death benefit coverage. Because in order for you to access any of these plans and utilize them, it still has to be life insurance.
Yeah.
So there's still going to be a death benefit going to your family no matter what. You might be able to cover, two birds with one stone and have a death benefit coverage that would go to your beneficiaries to pay off debts and whatnot, but also have that living benefit and access to funds. Say you need a new car in 10 years and you don't have the cash in the bank, but you have the cash in your policy. You can borrow that out and, pay for your car with cash and have it be a tax advantage plan. You can put a down payment on a home. You can pay for kids' educations or a wedding or whatever might be coming your way. You can utilize funds and pay off what would otherwise become debt to you with this tax-free benefit from your life insurance, or you can let it grow and you can turn it into a steady stream of income in the future too as well. There's a lot of flexibility in the living benefits when it comes to life insurance and we're talking taxes.
And when we talk about borrowing money out of the policy, a lot of people say, well, my gosh, don't I owe that back? The simple answer is no, you really don't. You don't have to pay that back, because it becomes a part of it just reduces your death benefit. It reduces your cash value inside the policy. So you really don't have to pay that back in a lot of cases. The other thing that we need to focus on too is when you're building these assets, as Heidi talked about, for future streams of income and those kinds of things, you can participate in upsides of the market, potentially, a certain amount of the upside of the market without losing any money in these as well. So there are lots and lots of bells and whistles out there that people just don't understand because they haven't been exposed to them, because these things haven't been around for lots and lots of years, and they're only improving with each year. We see improvements and improvements and improvements, and there are a lot of different things you can use those living benefits for, and one of them becomes later on in life.
Of course. And I think the other reason why this isn't really widely talked about is there's a lot of miscommunication and misinformation when it comes to life insurance. So you need to make sure you're working with an informed individual who can give you the proper knowledge base to know what you're really getting into. But when they're utilized properly, they sing and dance and they really do a wonderful job helping you meet your financial needs. So later on in life, there's something that almost every single person is not going to be able to avoid if they live a long life, and that is long-term care. We know right now the statistics are 7 out of 10 of us need at least one day of long-term care. And if you're in that 3 out of 10, you're probably going to help provide the care to someone you love or be around when you see someone you love need long-term care. You know, the policies of the past for long-term care insurance, they didn't really work. Most of them don't even exist anymore. So life insurance companies realized they needed to rethink the way that they were covering everyone and provide a couple more options for that long-term care coverage in the form of life insurance with, once again, living benefits to cover you in the form of long-term care if you need long-term care coverage in the future.
So what you do, Mark, is you get into one of these policies, and you can actually do it as a joint policy with your spouse as well. But in the event one of you needed long-term care, your death benefit just gets reduced, and you spend your death benefit on a monthly basis to cover that care, and it's all tax-free. It's all tax-free money that's coming out to cover those long-term care expenses. The money stays in the family. Heidi mentioned the policies of old for covering long-term care. The money would, if you didn't use it, you just spent a lot of money to cover it. But if the need didn't arise, you just lost that money to someone else's care. Basically, you paid for Joe down the street's long-term care. But in this situation, the money always stays in the family. And that's important for a lot of our clients because they don't want a lost asset. They want that money. They've worked hard for this money their entire life. They've scrimped, they've saved, they're having a great retirement, and they don't want this to go away. They don't want the assets to just vanish.
Well, that's so true. But also when you talk about long-term care, one of the reasons people enter into some form of long-term care coverage is because they don't want the burden of that care to be on their loved ones. Because no matter how you set it up, when someone needs care, it's going to be burdensome for someone in your life. And the other thing that the living benefit in these types of life insurance policies can cover for long-term care is a concierge service that steps in and they help you determine what is the family budget for care, what is the type of care that, you know, the member of your family needs.
Where do they want to be cared for?
Where do they want to be cared for? What do they want? And they will actually step in and do the footwork on the ground in your community to figure out, narrow it down to 2 or 3 facilities you can go look at yourself. But otherwise, I mean, we've been through this with my mom's family. It's like a quagmire. Someone needs care, and it's a full-time job to figure out how to meet the needs of what they need, what they want, what the budget looks like, what the area they want to be in is. When you look at all of that, there's so much work. So knowing that you have that benefit.
Why not rely on someone who's done it, who does it every day?
It truly does release the burden from your family because the only burden that you'll have is the financial aspect of funding the policy. And the rest, you have the life insurance company to come step in and help you take care of all of your needs.
So you said something earlier that it caught me, and I may have misheard this. You can use life insurance to help build income?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's fascinating to hear because it's almost just like we think of it, as you just mentioned, you know, we pay into it, and if we don't use it, it goes to your neighbor down the street. But the reality is there are opportunities for you pay into it, and if you don't use it for that specific aspect, you still get to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, your family does. Yes, absolutely. It always stays in the family. One of our goals is to make sure that as much money stays in the family as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that through our taxation strategies that we implement. We also do that through life insurance strategies.
Our other goal is to help economical needs. So, you know, there are probably 40 different ways you can invest your funds to meet your financial needs for the future. But what's the most economical need for your family? Well, sometimes it might be a life insurance plan. Mm-hmm. So we always look at how much it's going to cost you too, so that you can really make an informed decision and choose between all the different options for covering the same need in an economical means.
And I love this. You said, I want you to help you so that your life insurance can sing and dance for you. So that's another benefit of a good policy right there.
If you want me to sing and dance for you too, just come on in. I'm happy to put on a show.
If that's all
you've caught me singing too many times already.
At the beginning of
no one wants to see me dance, though. Dad's the dancer.
I'm the dancer.
Wait, so you get a policy and a show?
Absolutely.
What's better?
I mean,
we're a full-service firm. We are a full-service firm.
At Ricken Financial. Great information this week about the power and the benefits of life insurance. RickenFinancial.com for more information and reach out to the team. And of course, you can get that link here in the show notes. Let's wrap it up like we do every week, every day.
It's a holiday.
Life is short.
Laugh hard.
Thanks so much for listening. This has been Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.